I'm trading up 1,000 very rare drop items all the way to black markets, going for, yes, you've guessed it, painted octanes, painted standards, and some of the best black markets in the game. And I tell you what, got a funny feeling we're going to get a sick painted octane today. Just a gut feeling. Drop a like, subscribe down below. Please consider using code PixelArmy in the Rocket League item shop to support me and keep these videos going as frequently as we both would enjoy, because they're about 30,000 credits a go. So I'd really appreciate any support if you guys want to do that. Here we go. Most recent. It's not most recent. We need to make it these. So I'm probably going to have to archive these 3 items to get them out of the way. We have all these items to trade up. Loads and loads of them. Let's get a titanium white octane. Imagine, oh my goodness, 200 metallic pearls. That is absolutely insane. You know what? Let's start on the 200 metallic pearl stack, I guess you could say, which is how many trade-ups? 40. So that's a lot of trade-ups. That is, well, I mean, a fifth of the video in just metallic pearls only. So hopefully we can get something sick. Cobalt Paladin. Okay. I do just want to give a quick update, as I like to do in my very rare drop trade-up videos. I typically end up doing little cricket updates. Oh, there's an update for you. Black standard, 1 out of 2 completed. Black standard now remains the white octane. Obviously, is that going to happen? I highly doubt it. And I can see on my computer here that hashtag tongue out Tuesday is trending on Twitter. Don't actually know if I want to click on that, so we'll just leave that here. But there we go. That is an absolute dub. Oh, sky blue hot shot. Okay, but it's been quite an interesting couple of weeks for me in cricket. So for the past 2 weeks, I've made a little pre-game video of me talking to the camera, manifesting a 100. My first league 100. I've had it in a friendly, but my first league 100, whereas a batsman, you get 100 runs. And I was like, for a couple of weeks ago, I said, I'm going to get 100. My dad's actually watching this game. Let's get 100. And I get to 55 not out rapidly off about 30 balls, opening the batting, and then the rain comes and we abandon the match, so I have no chance. Then the most recent game just gone, I make another video saying, right, I feel good, I'm in the right headspace, I'm gonna get the 100 today. And then I said at the very least the 45 runs that I needed to get from the previous week. So if I got 45 runs in this game, I essentially got 100 runs in a row without getting out. And I get 84. So it's annoying because I'm pretty sure that is my highest league score, 84 runs. But either way, we won the game, chasing 250 off 45 overs. So that's a dub. But me and my partner, we had 158 opening partnership until I got caught, which is very annoying. And also my bat broke. So I was on about 20 runs at the time. I play a shot, middle it, time the pants off of it, and in my hands, you would have seen this if you follow me on Twitter, the bat just snaps, the handle just snaps. Now, I play with hard hands. I don't really play with soft hands. If you know, you know. But it was exceptionally windy last weekend. I don't know if you know. So I was holding the bat, probably the hardest I've ever held it. And I know I've been going to the gym and everything, but my goodness, the bat handle should not be snapping in my hands of a brand new limited edition Chase Platinum bat. It just shouldn't happen. Only 20 of them are made each year. That kind of quality of bat should not snap in my hands as buff as I thought I am, as I think I am. But so technically speaking, in the last 2 weeks, I've been out once, and that was after getting 139 runs. But technically speaking, I'm still yet to get my first league 100. So there's my update. Maybe that'll happen, you know, on the weekend. You never know. But for those of you that are interested in my escapades, you know, if you want to follow me and my cricket, you actually can. If you type in Play Cricket Portland Red Triangle, you can literally click on it and you can see live updates of my cricket matches on Saturday as they're happening. So if you're actually interested and you happen to be watching this on a Saturday or whatever, you can just type in that and you can see all my statistics, how I'm getting on, and then you'll know. So when I do get 100, you can tweet me and say, hey, congratulations. But yeah, so there is that. So that ties in as well with obviously, like I said, I didn't expect to be able to break the handle despite going to the gym and getting a bit stronger lately. And the reason I mention that is because I've got a bunch of questions here from you guys over on Twitter. And one of them from Harley Shrub says, do you have any ways to deal with mental health issues, maybe tips or tricks? If, of course, this is something you deal with. Now, I suppose there's different levels to this, and I am by no means a therapist or anything like this. I'm just going to speak anecdotally, so take what I say with a pinch of salt. Because I feel like everyone has negative things happen to them, right? But not everyone necessarily goes through mental health issues. I don't think being sad, even for a prolonged period of time, is a mental health issue. It might be the product of your environment. You know, it's if you're in a depressing situation, or if something very terrible happens to you, you might not be clinically depressed. You might just be feeling sad as a direct result of something. At least the way I sort of see it from when I've heard people talk about sort of depression and sadness and stuff like that in that sense, is that it tends to come for seemingly no reason. Oftentimes people feel depressed and they don't know why, and that's kind of where it becomes more, I suppose, like a chemical imbalance, right? And that's when, you know, like pharmaceuticals get involved and stuff like that to try and fix what is essentially not a direct result of an outside stimulus. It's something going on inside. So I think a lot of people misinterpret reactive sadness for sort of built-in depression, which I've no basis for saying this other than personal experience, because everyone has had very bad things, very sad things happen to them. But me, for example, I don't think I've ever been depressed. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed, of course, but I don't think I've ever been there. I think I've only ever just been in a bad mood for even as long as like a month or two. There's a Fennec, that's a dove. A bit lighthearted from a deep conversation. Oh, Big Octane, it just keeps on coming. That's a shout out to the Barbie movie coming out very soon, I guess. I think it's already out now, actually, by the time you watch this. But so I think I've only ever felt, wow. Okay, am I going to be able to finish this statement, or are we just going to keep getting good stuff? You love to see it. I think I've only ever felt bad from something bad that's happened. And in terms of things for me personally that have worked, it's definitely nature, getting outside. I've never, this is interesting, I've never really attributed being on my phone, being on social media at the very least, as something that has benefited my mental health. I really enjoy the times when I've got a few hours to spare and I can just scroll on TikTok or watch YouTube videos and have a good time watching them. But when I've been in a bad place, I would never attribute TikTok, YouTube videos, consuming content online in my own little bubble as something that helps me. If anything, unplugging is absolutely the best. And I mean, that might be because I spend so much of my life plugged in. Like, if you're someone who has next to no connection to the internet or anything like that, you might really benefit from going to, you know, like going to the cinema and getting lost in some kind of movie universe, right? But as myself, and as you probably watching this, spend a lot of time online consuming content, I think the best way to sort of get a little mental health reset is go outside, go for a walk. Walking is so underrated in terms of health, in terms of mental clarity, benefits. Go to the gym, play sport. I cannot tell you, I would not trade a single cricket match. I love every opportunity I get to play cricket. Even the games where we get absolutely battered and I make no contribution. I love playing. I love being with my teammates playing the game. And I love the fact I cannot go on my phone. I don't go on my phone on Saturdays from about midday till about 8 p.m. And it's so rare in everyday life, especially with my job, that you can go your whole, you know, hours and hours without checking your phone or being on your phone. Like I said, I don't even check my phone. Everyone in my life that's important enough to know knows that on Saturday I'm playing cricket. So even if they message, they'll be like, oh, he's playing cricket, he's not going to respond. Everyone knows I'm unplugged from the outside world. And I always feel amazing. After the match, I come home, even if we lost, I've got like a new lease of life. I feel great having just not been on my phone, been outside and been getting active. So I feel like if you are someone who's in a bit of a dark place and you find that habitually, which you likely do, you find a lot of your time is being spent on social media, try and take a break from it. I'm not saying you have to do the social media detox for like 30 days or whatever. You don't have to delete the apps or anything like that, but go outside and leave your phone at home. I know it's difficult because there is the small, minuscule possibility that if you go out and something happens, you might need your phone. But I suppose one thing that always helps me keep it into perspective that a lot of people kind of lose sight of these days is that your mobile phone is for the convenience of yourself, not the convenience of the caller. Like back in the day, your phone would ring and you're busy. You'd be like, I'm busy, I'm going to leave it. Nowadays, if your phone rings, 90% of people will completely drop what they're doing and be like, oh my God, I got to answer this phone. I'm not quite like that, especially if I'm making a video and my phone rings, I'll look briefly and see who it is. And if it's not, you know, if it's a family member, actually, I low-key have kind of ignored it. Like, I know my dad's called me while I'm filming, I ignore it, which might not be the best thing if it is an emergency, but most of the time, I will ignore a phone call if I'm busy. And it is it's for your convenience. If it's inconvenient for you to pick up the phone, then don't pick up the damn phone, okay? It's for your benefit, not the benefit of everyone else. So, yeah, I think it's just trying to let go of the reliance on your mobile phone. But, you know, then again, at the same time, maybe I feel this way because of my job with YouTube and everything like that. Like, once I finish this video, before I film the next one, I can go on my phone for 5 minutes. Whereas when I had my old job at McDonald's, obviously, I would do an 8-hour shift and only go on my phone during my break. Same with school. Back then, smartphones weren't as readily available. I didn't have a smartphone until I was in the very late years of my school career. So, you know, my phone didn't really even have internet on it until I was about 15, 16. So, yeah, I didn't really go on my phone at school either. Whereas nowadays, I guarantee everyone's on their phone. Everyone goes on TikTok during school. Everyone just like, for example, when they go to the bathroom at like break or during a lesson or whatever, I know everyone's going to be taking out their phone and going on it. But I tell you what, I feel like I've got the perfect balance. I think a lot of people that I'm friends with that are my age are of the same opinion that we grew up in the perfect time. So I grew up in the early 2000s. I was born in the 90s, and yeah, there's that. But we grew up with some technology. There wasn't really on-demand TV. You couldn't really freeze live TV by the time I was a kid. You still had to watch scheduled television. We didn't have readily available internet. We had one family computer that had terrible internet, and, you know, that was that. And our entertainment would be like a Game Boy Color. And that was just the perfect blend. It was, you could escape into, for me, it was Pokemon. You could escape there. You got the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. But even with like PlayStation and Game Boy, it wasn't online gaming. I think that's, for me, where my gaming absolutely accelerated, is when I went around my friend's house who had a PlayStation 3, which unimaginable for me at the time, and we would play Modern Warfare 3 online for hours, because there's something about going from a single player, almost LAN experience to online that makes gaming so much more addictive. You know, I love playing Pokemon and everything like that, but I never found it difficult to save the game, turn off. Whereas when it got to the point where I'd do multiplayer games like Call of Duty, and then it became Rocket League, Fortnite, H1Z1 before that, that's when I found, that was when I was most sort of addicted to gaming. Nowadays, I don't actually think I'm addicted to gaming. I would say I'm more addicted to / reliant on short form entertainment through TikTok, for example, than I am of gaming. I don't think when I've got a minute to spare, oh, I could cram a game of Rocket League in, or oh, I could get a game of Fortnite in. I will actually think I'll either play a game of chess if I'm feeling intellectual, or I'll just open up an app, close it, and then open up the same exact app again. We all do that, don't we? It's not just me. It's like the modern day equivalent of going in the room for something, forgetting why you went in there, leaving the room and immediately remembering, so going back in. Or it's like opening the fridge to see what's in there, not liking it, and then 5 minutes later going back to open the fridge to see if there's anything else new in there, even though you know there isn't. Maybe there's something you missed. That's what I do so much. And sometimes I'll really catch myself doing it, and that usually is when I turn off the phone. When I say, I'll be on Instagram, I'll think, you know what, I'm a bit bored. I feel like TikTok, it takes me hours to get actually bored of what's on the app, but Instagram, because I don't watch Reels, because I have TikTok and stuff, I only look at pictures, I get bored after a couple of minutes. Same with Twitter, I get bored after a couple of minutes because I'm only just reading stuff. I'll close the app, and then I'll immediately open the same app. Like, what is that? I wish, I don't know if I've kind of, if I'm aware of my addiction enough that I can kind of stop it. I suppose I must be, in the sense that definitely the first decade of my life was basically unplugged from the internet for the most part, right? It was a luxury. So maybe I'm still at the point where I could fix it. I don't know. But then again, I feel very reliant on it, because if I grew up as a kid today, I'd be way too hyperstimulated. I do fear for the kids of today and the kids of the future that there'll be so much entertainment and everything available that it's going to be impossible to, you know, to tune it out. So that's my existential rant about social media. And I suppose it was a little bit of a talk about mental health. It always segues. It's almost like a solo podcast, these videos. I've done solo podcasts in the past. I can talk for England. You watch all my videos, you know that I never run out of things to say. I just need one little spark and we can go into all sorts of different directions. So that's that. I'll trade up the imports because there'll be nothing to see. It'll be non-painted exotics. And then we'll trade up to a couple of black markets. I think it'll be, well, I say a couple, it'll be like 7 or 8. So drop a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts of this chat in the comment below. I love having these chats with you. And I'll see you in a sec. A lot of people don't know the strain that recording videos like this has on my voice. Stuff you don't see behind the scenes, man. That's the thing. Oh, it's like the whole mental health thing. I've been making daily videos in the past where I'd be crying every day because of how rubbish I feel. But on camera, I'm completely normal. It really is mental, actually, how much you can keep to yourself and hide from everyone, isn't it? I'm fine now. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine now. But yeah, it just made me think. I've made videos like this in the past where I was not okay. And you would never know. Crazy. A bit deep, but that was good though. We got black standard, titanium white standard. We got the painted octane. We got the fennec. We got the black flamethrower, white flamethrower. So there were plenty, other than basically the white octane, which is the jackpot of all jackpots for this series. We got everything you could possibly ask for in this episode, and we might double down and get a dueling dragons and mainframe or something like that. So we shall see. All right, so we have got enough for 7 black market trade ups. Kept back a few of the painted input bodies and stuff like that. Didn't want to trade all of them up, knowing that I wasn't going to get to 8 anyway, because I think we have exactly 35 dropped exotics to trade up. So we're going for one of the big 5 as always. Number 1, Singularity. Okay, one of those ones where it's only really cool if it's painted, which means in this case you don't want to see it. I feel like a Tora's coming. Spectre. Oh, equally as jank. Let's move on. Get the Crimson Lobos. This is the lucky one. Hex. Again, it's another one where it's only really good for paint. Come on. Streamline. Fine. Is what it is. Can we get something? Atomizer. Another one you just want to see painted. Again, back to back. Final trade of the video. Fire God, it's one of the big 5 to finish, and very soon on the channel you will see me trade up all of these exotics as well. I treat you well, keep you keen. Also, hopefully once I've got some of the imports, because it's difficult to get, you know, imports and stuff these days in Rocket League, I'll try and do an import to exotic trade up video where you can get painted Zombas, painted Dracos, stuff like that. But a lot of them, if they exist, have been traded up, so it's hard to actually stack up on them. But either way, we are done. So that is going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like. Subscribe down below to join the Pixel Army. I have been Pixel. You have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next video very soon. Flying in a missile. Haters throwing shade. Never pick me, not an issue. I am a beast. I'm at the top. I run these beats.